So it looks like everybody is readied up, and we are just about ready to start Game 3. It is going to be 100% item, and this is the winner of this will go on to the round of 8, and will win at least $25. They will be in the money.
Well, this is it, Freya. It all comes down to 100% item collection in Super Metroid. Race 3 of 3 between fruitbatsalad and ARealCutie. Both runners have put on an absolutely phenomenal display of impressive movement technique, killer boss fights, you name it. It's been a very, very good match so far. And as Freya said, whoever continues on in the tournament will finish in the top 8 and will get a cash prize. And those cash prizes were generously provided by Balls Guarana and Mega Cat Studios. But enough about the sponsors, because we have a race on our hands, Freya. We're starting on Sirius Station for the 3rd time today.
Let's go.
We're off to the races here. Runners heading through Sirius, going to face off against Ridley, damage themselves down before making their escape.
So we think that out of all the categories remaining, this is definitely the one that favors Cutie the most. But we'll see what both of them can get done with this category. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing Cutie just destroy this category with lots of fancy techniques. It's going to be fun to see FBS also destroy this category. And we'll see how much FBS has practiced this category. We have perfect sync so far.
Oh wow, this is really impressive stuff, and we're only on Sirius.
$46.15 from Kitty.
Really impressive stuff. I think FBS very, very consistent, finishing in the 44-45 range each time. Cutie just a shade faster, but both runners going to head down to Planet Zebus to collect all 100 items, all 100 item fanfares in this game. So as before our runners can do anything else, they have to collect 2 crucial items, the Morphing Ball and the first missile pack. Cutie's still showing off that moonfall, uncapping his fall speed. FBS choosing to obey the laws of physics, at least in the in-game universe of Super Metroid, electing not to use moonfall.
The laws of physics. The laws of physics are continuously broken in this game. It's wonderful.
I think both runners got pitless there, heading through Old Mother Brain. Really nice stuff. So now both runners have picked up those first 2 items, so the rest of the game will sort of jumpstart now. Now they're skipping the other items in Retro Brinstar because they just don't have the movement items necessary to collect them. So they'll be coming back through this area of the game much, much later in the run.
Let's see if Cutie goes for the swag boost here. Nope, Cutie just going through the room normally. And again, you'll see Cutie's last wall jump climb. Cutie shooting before grabbing below the ledge and then down grabbing. A really, really unique way to do this climb. FES going for the ledge grab climb again.
So the next major pickup for these runners will be the normal bombs. They will fight Bomb Torizo. And for, I believe, the 4th time today, because we saw it twice in GT Classic in the first race, we're going to see a interesting BT fight from Cutie. So Freyas, I'd be lying if I didn't admit that my knowledge of 100% item collection in Super Metroid is a little weak. Is there a lot of route divergence possible in Hundo?
The only route divergence possible is whether you go for early or late ice.
Got it.
There's some wild things that have been theorized, such as going Phantoon first, getting an elevator crystal flash suit, then using that to holding that through the Phantoon fight and all of the wreck ship to be able to grab the wreck ship reserve. But that's just something that's purely theoretical at this point. So they're both going to be taking the. We'd expect Cutie was practicing the ice clip earlier, so we'd expect Cutie to be doing the world record route of early ice, and then FES to do early grapple.
I think whatever route these runners decide to run, they'll give us a terrific race here in Game 3 of 3 in this best of 3 series. The winner will move on, but the runner-up certainly should take a lot of pride in making it this far, because this has been a very challenging tournament. There were 6 Swiss rounds of action, so 6 matches per runner for the last month and a half.
So here we're going to see the very first difference. Cutie's going to go and pick up the Prince Reserve. It's always interesting to see whether people choose to pick up the reserve before or after. Before is definitely mechanically easier, because to do it after, you have to turn around and morph, which is very difficult at the end of a morph ball tunnel. And there you see, there's a route divergence that you wanted. FBS is picking up reserve,
Right
the reserve after.
So I want to see this little. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Reverse mock ball.
I love this reverse mock ball. It's just such an impressive trick. So in contrast to the previous run, or I should say previous race, while this is 100% item collection, it is not all bosses, or it is not an all bosses category. So while these runners will pick up the Spore Spawn Supers, they do not have to fight Spore Spawn. We'll see some interesting techniques that they use to do that. But first, Cutie's going to head down and pick up Charge Beam. Meanwhile, FBS making his way through a giant pink wall of blocks and heading into the room known as Big Pink.
And they're going to be skipping these missiles. They'll get them later once they have power bombs on the second pass. So one more bit of route divergence is Cutie could go up the red tower and grab power bombs before Kraid. that saves maybe a second over the run, mostly due to being able to do fancy sound cue clearing shenanigans in Upper Norfair. But the time save is so small that you have to be able to do that perfectly every single time. So only somebody with extensive new route experience like Zost would actually go for that. Because if you make any mistakes, you're losing a bunch of time.
I've always considered 100% a little bit more of a nuanced category, as there's a lot of execution, a lot of movement optimization, because you have to pick up all the items, you have to visit rooms that you normally wouldn't. But both these runners looking really sharp here early in the first 10 minutes of this race. And a nice little high five here right outside Spazer.
So there's way more execution. There's way more places that things can go slightly wrong. There's way fewer places that things can go very wrong.
So you have a higher completion rate, perhaps, but also the time saves or even the time losses are greater numbers. So it's almost like if you're falling behind, it's like a death by 1,000 cuts kind of scenario.
Luckily for Cutie, the way that this is going to work out is going to give Cutie... This is definitely the category that Cutie wanted to see for the last race. This is definitely the category where Cutie has the best chance of winning, because it's just so long with so few chances of dying. There's only one segment in this run where you can die, and that is the spiky rim of death.
It is a treacherous room for sure. Picture perfect missile Kraid quick kill from Cutie as he goes in to pick up his Varia suit. FBS also setting up to fight Kraid. See him open again with the charge beam Kraid quick kill, I should say.
FBS getting all of the Kraid quick kills today.
Really impressive.
So this is the very last match of the round of 16. After this, we'll be heading straight off to the round of 8, and there'll be 8 more matches left in the tournament. Cutie with a mock ball there.
And grabbing that janitor's closet E-tank in Kraid's warehouse. Or as I think cross-product is referred to it as the Frog Pocket. Another good room name.
So both of them are going to be hitting, doing Upper Norfolk cleanup. They're going to be grabbing high jump, wave, and speed.
Definitely some excellent items from a movement standpoint and a progression standpoint as well.
Oh, Cutie forgot to open the door. That new route muscle memory, or even old route muscle memory, would have Cutie skipping that. So that's a chance for FP. That's a death by one of the death by 1,000 cuts things, where FES can get some time back, and there's a high five through the door.
Yeah, right at high jump. Really interesting stuff. But Cutie does have the potential to increase his lead, as you said, in the second race. Freyas, his execution, his movement is just a little bit better, a little bit faster than FBS's. But we'll see. It's a long race ahead of us, so anything can happen, really.
So if Cutie does go, if Cutie does go for early ice. So then there's a couple of disadvantages of early ice. you're not going to have you're going to be down the E-tank and the wrecked ship, which means it's easier to die there. And the other disadvantage is that you have to do the ice clip. So if Cutie goes for early ice, then that'll give FPS additional space, time to catch up, because it can mean Cutie will make more mistakes.
It's definitely possible. We'll just have to wait and see what Cutie decides to do. Very well executed Bubble Mountain there, but FPS shortly behind, making his way through Rising Tide. I love that little gap skip after that farm. Just all these little tiny optimizations are so impressive from these runners.
And we're going to get another 5-5 here.
So Cutie with the speed booster, he'll be able to boost his speed as well as execute Shine Spark, movement, technique, being able to fly in 5 different directions at the cost of energy. But Shine Sparks are a super cool movement method in Super Metroid.
We are getting really, really close to the point where hundo item route divergence starts happening from any percent. Because up until now, it's basically been any percent with a few extra missile pickups. Cutie doing the same strat again. Killing the seahorse for lag reduction, and then missiling the door.
FPS with a similar strategy, just didn't quite get that seahorse on the way down. Or I should say got it the right way around, I guess. So both runners into double chamber. And another little high five here. So FPS very impressing early. He's definitely, kind of going toe-to-toe with Cutie here. Cutie hasn't pulled too far ahead.
Yeah, FPS has been playing amazingly here. So here's the route decision. Do they kill Croc now? And we're gonna guess that FPS does and Cutie does not.
So as I said at the beginning, Freya, not exactly my forte, not exactly my most experience. What are the advantages and disadvantages of killing Croc early?
So the disadvantage of killing Croc early is you don't have plasma to one-shot Croc. The advantage of killing Croc early is that you don't have to ice clip to spring ball, and you have an extra E-tank for the Rick ship.
So pros and cons to both, but ultimately doing Croc late is faster. If the rest of the run is, equivalent, I guess you could say.
Yep. If you don't die in the wreck ship and you get the spring ice clip first try, then it's definitely faster to do it that way.
So as you predicted here, Freya, Cutie going with, I believe, early ice, and FPS going with early Croc. I just love that mock ball under that first gate, exiting ice. It's such an impressive trick.
Especially when the setup is as fast as that. So is FPS heading towards the ship refill? FPS is burning a ton of missiles at Croc. For something that we don't believe is any faster than actually just shooting charge shots. So that means that FPS is going to have a few fewer missiles for shooting the worker robots later.
Those darn worker robots. Here, Cutie setting up for that oh-so-swaggy Alpha Spark, well executed, just flying through, unleashing all of that fast, stored up from that Shine Spark. Love to see it.
So that damage, that health that Cutie lost right there, this is a segment where health is the most important in the entire run. So if Cutie is going to die, it is going to be in this segment.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that he doesn't. We'd love to see both runners finish this clean with no deaths. FBS with a spark of his own, exiting Croc, heading all the way across to get those power bombs.
And we're well into 100 fanfare percent.
Both runners definitely picking up the 3 ammunition sources, missiles, supers, and power bombs now. Cutie electing to pick up those Alpha PBs and not forgetting the missiles behind them. FBS, though, picking up those Croc PBs and heading down even further into the depths of Upper Norfair to pick up the grapple beam.
Is Cutie going to speed keep or shine spark here?
I think he's going to do shine. Oh, no, I was wrong.
He's going for the speed keep. That is a legit Indiana Jones from FBS.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. Way to go, FBS. That was a terrific segment. Now, Hondo kind of gets a bad rap because of all the item fanfares, but with Grapple Beam, you can just do such interesting movement and interesting techniques. It's definitely something you don't see in every other category.
FBS with a wonderful deboost there. Cleaning up Croc's area. So we're basically at the point where the route divergence from any percent really starts. As soon as Phantoon is dead, there will be so much route divergence. Fortunately, misses Ocean Play.
Came awfully close to getting it though, and I just love Cutie had with that little gap skip. You know, after he destroyed the key hunters, after he dropped the power bomb, it just comes so natural. It's like I've always thought of Super Metroid speedrunning as like parkour. It's like as long as you keep Samus moving in the direction you want to go in, you're going to be fast. It's just kind of maintenance of momentum for 40 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour 20, you know, depending on the category. It's just really impressive.
So we're definitely going to see Cutie Doppler here, Doppler Phantoon. Cutie wants to,
I think he's got... Oh, sorry, Freya.
Go on.
I was going to say, I think he's got enough missiles for it. Shouldn't have any problem Dopplering when he's got over 50 missiles.
Cutie wants to keep Spacer equipped for Robot Flesher. A wonderful trick that you're going to see in the bowling.
We will wait with bated breath, but FBS has completed his Norfair cleanup for now. He'll be heading to the wreck ship. Cutie opening up against Phantoon here, but FBS getting the Alpha Spark well executed.
That's a setup for a slow for a 2-round on-screen. I guess it is going to be a slow.
Brilliant red tower climb with the hero shot from FBS as he heads into the Hellway. Using those swaggy deboosts to make it across in no time at all, but Cutie absolutely myrtleizing Phantoon. That was a very clean fight.
So Cutie is going to be shooting out these blocks in a very specific pattern to be able to lay a power bomb without having to do any bomb jumping. Ooh, unfortunately, accidentally shoots at the block, but very good attempt. So this room right here that Cutie's in is one of the most awkward rooms in the game.
Definitely looks tough to do optimally and really quickly. All that work just to get a super missile pick.
We're gonna guess that FBS is gonna spark here. There's the spark strat.
I just love that room, that beta power bombs room with that spark. Just really cool stuff.
Both of these runners making all of this stuff look so easy. So Cutie coming up on the Specky Room of Death, which is the room in the game where you can die to death really easily.
It is recommended for all Super Metroid speedrunners, regardless of their ability, to not die to death. But this could be a scary part of this run for Cutie.
Going for the fancy strat. Wow. So, the way that this match worked, FBS vetoed any percent, QD vetoed RBO, FBS chose GT Classic and won, QD chose all bosses and won, and now we're in game 3 of the best of 3. Hundo item. To see who makes it into the round of 8 and into the money. So right there, that bomb jump that Cutie has to do in here, that's another hard thing that you set yourself up for by doing early ice. Let's see what Cutie does for the reverse Specky Room. So Cutie absolutely does care about health during this segment. Cutie's gonna take it nice and safe and just preserve all his health. Is FES gonna go for X Factors? We would expect FES to go for X Factors. Yeah, FES's Phaser unequipped. FES is going for X Factors.
It's got the wave beam equipped, doesn't have Spazer.
Ballistic, 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 ballistic. Ballistic, ballistic, ballistic. Ballistic. In Hundo item, there's a fancy strat called ballistic where you just shoot everything with ammo. You have all the ammo in the world.
Nice.
And it looked like FES got a solid 2-round Fantoon.
Well done from FBS.
So Cutie just about out of ammo. Out of missiles. So let's see how Cutie does reverse attic. Unfortunately, get booped quite a bit. That is FES or Cutie needs to save all the health that he can. FES going through the super awkward room there, and FES about to come up on his Specky Room of Death. And we're seeing why right now, why this is just the best category for Cutie of the remaining 3. Okay, Robot Flesher is coming up right now. It's a really, really fancy strat. So there are 2 robots off screen that he's going to need to be able to get out of the way to get to the reserve, and he's going to just try and shoot them from above. Very, very difficult strat, but one that looks amazing when it goes right.
If you hadn't said anything, Freya, I would have thought that he was just trying to go for damage boosts across bowling and missed him, but he was actually shooting the worker robots.
And breaking the power bomb blocks below. So if everything goes right, the worker robots are going to be in those holes and the power bomb blocks are going to be destroyed. So that's what we're looking for here.
Truly impressive stuff.
So FES has grapple here, showing one of the advantages of early grapple. Oh, unfortunately missed the first shot. Did get the second shot though, and the peep. So Cutie doing some wall jumps to save a little bit of health from the Shine Spark. Manages to salvage it. So coming up is going to be a Gauntlet Spark, and that's what they're saving health for. The Gauntlet Spark is going to be the last segment. Once the Gauntlet Spark is done, neither of these runners are going to have to worry about health. So it looks like FPS is setting up for another Bowling Spark. Meanwhile, Cutie's going to be setting up for an amazing strat at the bottom of the ocean. You just kind of bounce right into the hole. Cutie unfortunately jumps a little bit too late and doesn't actually bonk on the ceiling where Cutie was supposed to. FPS getting hecked on by those robots.
Definitely has enough ammunition, because more ammunition, more better to shoot those robots, but just couldn't get that last one out of the way.
So Cutie is going to decide how to Shine Spark up to Criteria Peeps based on his health, and then it's going to show a beautiful strat that Cutie invented for to get that. You can see Cutie lay a Peep and then hold a charge shot diagonally going into the room. And it's just going to try and bounce straight across. So we don't actually know how much health you need for the Gauntlet Spark. So the next thing that's going to be happening is Cutie is going to be trying to open the left side door from the right side in what is called the wraparound shot. Going for the Behemoth strat.
This is just such an impressive part in this hundo route.
Oh, and unequipping variant now. Yeah, Cutie had to fully drain the reserve. Going for the back half of Gauntlet Spark, that's unfortunately just too good of a short charge. So coming up here is an incredibly trolley segment. That is a 1 minute time loss if Cutie a minute plus time loss if Cutie accidentally falls anywhere down, but if Cutie doesn't activate both sides of the crumble shaft at the same time. Gonna take it nice and safe. Good choice for a race setting, especially being tied up in the final match.
Absolutely, that's such a tragic happenstance. If you fall and don't collect both those missiles, having to go all the way back through, there's no other recourse.
Unless you're running many percent.
Many percent is an unnatural category, some might say.
So FPS at the end of the segment where health matters. FPS is definitely going to have to drain his reserve.
But hey, at least FPS just found a stack of pancakes lying around in the wreck ship and got to pick those up.
It's canon that if you pick up pancakes, they turn purple.
So Cutie already at the bottom of Brinstar doing his Brinstar cleanup. FPS though just heading past the moats, so he's not too far behind, but still has to do all of Gauntlet.
So that's definitely one of the most punishing mistakes to do that. There's also a similar thing. There's a similar place that you can mess up at Golden Teresa missiles, and Mickey Mouse missiles. So there's 2 or 3 places where you can. There's 3 places in the game where you can fall through crumble blocks incorrectly, and just have to do a minute plus long loop.
So, Freya, I know those Edecoons are kind of polarizing in Super Metroid. Are you a fan or a foe of the Edecoons?
The Edecoons failed to teach us how to wall jump when we were a kid, so we are definitely a foe of them.
Oh my
Decora we are
goodness.
afraid of.
Oh, Decora, yeah. I think that Decora's teaching method and example of a Shine Spark is much clearer than the Edecoon's wall jumping.
Mission Impossible incoming.
Mission Impossible is such a cool strat.
FBS actually re-equipped Spacer for this. Just an extra 5 seconds of pause menuing that FBS did to do it that way. Oh wow, blue! Cutie getting all of the swag. So let's see how FBS does in these combo blocks.
FPS definitely pulling out, or I should say Cutie pulling out all the stops. FPS, though, doing a really good job in this any percent, but Cutie definitely going for some fast swag.
So now we're seeing Cutie's Brindstar cleanup, and we're going to see FPS head straight into Brindstar. And right now we're seeing why this category was so good for Cutie right now. Because it's long.
Just really going fast.
It's long. You basically can't die. Once you get past once you get to the Spectre Room of Death, you basically can't die. And there's just so many little things that a lot of runners just haven't practiced, but Cutie actually has grinded out hundo items, so. Significant lead for Cutie, but Cutie can't afford to make too many mistakes, otherwise FPS will catch up.
Cutie back into Green Hill Zone. A few more items to pick up here. Also revisit into Retro Brindstar on the table. fruitbatsalad, they'll make it blowing past those Edecoons, not waiting for them to teach him anything, and not like they could teach him anything. He's already mastered the art of wall jumping. So very impressive stuff.
FPS is going to be doing like a beautiful crouch jump. Crouch jump into morph is what people normally do there, which gives you lag reduction because you're in morph and just perfectly sets you up for the jump height. Let's see if FPS opts to go for Mission Impossible. And what strats FPS does for here. Looks like this is a Mission Impossible setup. Meanwhile, Tube is breaking at 38 minutes flat. Okay, Cutie's gonna go for the fast version of this. Wow, that short charge from Cutie. That short charge is really good.
That was absolutely phenomenal stuff. FPS setting up for Mission Impossible here. Or maybe not. Going the long way around. That's alright.
So Cutie picking up Mama Turtle Tank. One of the most beautiful things about Meridia is that since 2004, the only route change since 2004 in Meridia has been the way that you do short charges for Aqueduct. Like our COCOM hockey is about to be eaten by real-life obligations, so thank you so much for joining us, Hockey, and we're going to close this out and hope for an amazing race.
Absolutely, Freyas. Thank you so much for co-commentating with me. It's always a pleasure to do comms with you for Super Metroid. I love the enthusiasm as well as the deep game knowledge that you bring to the commentary booth, so it always makes for a very, very fun race. And yeah, sorry I couldn't stick around FBS and Cutie, but you're in terrific hands with Freyas. And so good luck, have fun to both the runners as they close out this race. We'll definitely see you in the future rounds.
Yeah, thank you so much. Cutie is a real master of short charges. So we believe that we said that the tube was broken at 38 flat. So we're going to find out how much of a lead Cutie has very soon. At this point, it's starting to look like at this point, it looks like the only way that Cuties can lose this match is by soft locking a stand up. Cutie got a very, very good roll with this category, and has been taking advantage of this roll fully. So, FBS heading straight to the tube. We're gonna see just how far ahead Cutie was at the tubes very soon. Cutie gonna be heading down into a bot wound. You can see the third bot wound of this match. Decalled X Factor. Cutie! Cutie going for the double X Factor strats. Cutie just swagging on us. That was entirely unnecessary. That was Cutie just wanting to swag. That is so good. That is so good. Cutie being one of the people who invented that setup. Cutie being the person who invented that setup. FBS about to head to Mama Turtle. Gonna grab that E-Tank and missiles. Oh, unfortunately we didn't catch exactly what FBS's time was, but it looks like Cutie is about 3 minutes ahead. Does any damage type damage Mama Turtle? We're not aware if any does, but it's entirely possible that something does. Nope, nothing damages Mama Turtle. 41-48 broke the tube? Okay. So FBS is about 3.5 minutes behind at the tube. Cutie with the blue suit. Can convert that into spec suit. FPS going through the Meridia cleanup. We're gonna see your beautiful reverse happy here. So Cutie gonna grab bot-1 E-Tank now. So one of the places that is risky coming up for Cutie is Cutie needs to clean up Aqueduct, and this is absolutely a place where Cutie could soft lock. So let's see if Cutie goes for it, or if Cutie decides to play it a bit safe and just skip the places where Cutie could soft lock. So missing that short charge means that Cutie dodges the first of the soft lock potential. Gonna be grabbing Spring Ball next. So coming up here is the reason, one of the major reasons why most people don't run early ice, because the Spring Ball clip is very difficult. So there is a setup. So FPS heading straight into bot-1. Let's see if FPS manages the X Factor. Good. Excellent kill by FPS. Ice clip. Nope. So with having to reset the room once, Cutie has lost all of the time that was saved through early ice. So this is definitely a chance. So we just realized that we had completely forgotten that FPS has already done Croc, so FPS is not 3.5 minutes behind. FPS is not actually 3.5 minutes behind. Cutie still has to clear out Croc's area. So the next real time that we'll get to sync them up is the lower Norfair elevator. So Cutie's gonna try and get the snail to break this early. Cutie's gonna shoot the snail and activate it. Yep. And with that, Cutie managed to save some frames and get that broken early. Good opener by FPS. Ooh, unfortunately just short. One super should finish this. So Cutie gonna be heading up to Plasma. So unfortunately Hockey isn't here anymore. But this might be the Wumple that Hockey was looking for. This might be the Wumple. Let's see if FPS can pull it off. Nope, does not manage off the Wumple, but gets a solid backup. Cutie having a bit of trouble in the Cassius room. Every little mistake that Cutie makes gives FPS a little bit of a chance to start catching back up. Cutie with a really good plasma run. We expect everything's okay with hockey. This commentary is a really, really long time commitment, especially since it came to grab Game 3. So FBS not going for the soft lock aqueduct. So we're expecting Cutie to go for the soft lock blue bomber here. Let's see if he does. He wanted to play the soft. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like soft block. This is totally the soft block blue bomber setup. See how Cutie does. And successfully pulls it off. You know, FVS is going to show off why the advantages of early grapple. You can just do this. You can just do this vanilla. The intended strat. Sneak right straight over into spring ball. So that wasn't actually that close. We're pretty sure that the lower blocks do not respawn. We think the lower blocks do not respawn. Hopefully somebody who runs this category can let us know, like, how much risk was Cutie actually at for soft blocking there. FBS has been playing a super solid run. And that's how you beat top players. You play a solid run and hope your opponent makes some mistakes. That's how FES was able to win game 1. The lower blocks do not respawn. Yeah, so once Cutie managed to get the jump, Cutie was not at any risk of soft locking. So as the tournament goes on, the vetoes are going to be much even more and more important. So next round, we're going to have Zost versus Aussie. We're going to have Sloders versus Galamaz. And Ajdar versus Zenny. And the winner of this match will face Kip. So it's going to be really... So, like, especially as we get to the round of 8 and the round of... and on, the matches are going to get closer and closer and closer. So the vetoes are going to be... The vetoes and which categories people are familiar with is going to get more and more important. It's going to be really, really interesting to see who ends up vetoing what. And how many categories each of these players have mastered. FES played a very solid first game in first run. And set up a category hoping that Cutie would make a mistake, and Cutie did make the mistake. So early power bombs is maybe like a how do we beat Pancake Tower? How do we beat Pancake Tower? So going early power bombs is maybe like a second faster. So you basically have to play it perfectly, and Zost is the only person who goes for it. So early power bombs is slightly faster if you do it perfectly, but unless you can reliably do it perfectly, it also puts your health in a shittier situation. Oh wait, okay. For a second, we were like, Cutie's missing Croc, and we remember that this was actually Croc later on. Does anybody know how much time Croc takes? We're trying to figure out how much, because at the tube breaking, Cutie was a little over 3 minutes ahead, we don't know how much of that time is actual lead, how much of that time is just Croc. And we guess we'll find out it later. So Cutie is going to be trying to get blue, and then Spring Ball jumps straight across to the acid statue. So let's see what Cutie manages to. Cutie does get to jump across. It's not the perfect jump, but it's a very solid jump. Meanwhile, FVS is just about out of Meridia. Just about out of Meridia. So GT coming up over here. We're beyond the point where they can die. So this is going to be a really quick lower north air for Kitty. Every little mistake that Kitty makes had a little bit of a chance for FPS to catch up. So FVS is going to pick up ice right now. Pick up ice and then just head straight to LN. Okay, so Cutie is coming up on the very last of the loops. Cutie is going to be getting Mickey Mouse missiles next. And this is the last place we can fall through crumble blocks and have to loop back around in a long way. The second was a Golden Teresa missiles. Cutie successfully not falling, so Cutie in a great place. Cutie dodges the 3 big time losses in this category. FVS is going to go for blue here. Probably going to Shine Spark to that item. Yep, and there's a Shine Spark. Slightly slower just because Shine Spark animations are so long. Crash animations. We believe that in canon, the Chozo statues attack you are known as Teresa's. We're pretty sure that that's canon. Okay, so Cutie's gonna go for a fan swag strat that he did earlier. And nails it. Absolutely just nails that. So FBS is going to be setting up for his spring ball jump across the statue room soon. Cutie always with really nice Ridley fights. So we're getting really close to the end of this. Cutie is pretty far in the lead. Cutie is definitely the mechanic lead. FPS is a very, very good player, but Cutie is just on another. Cutie is top 5 any percent time, so Cutie is just. FPS is like a really, really good time for mortals, but Cutie is just like on the list of players who like have transcended being a mere human. Cutie making his way out of lower Norfair, FPS taking down GT with no problems at all. Samus, please. It looks like he's gonna go for green pillars again. FPS putting out an amazing showing, taking it to game 3 through clever veto selection. Unfortunately, just got really bad RNG. Hot a Ruby special? Hot a Ruby special? Hot a Ruby special! Hot a Ruby special! So at the elevator exiting LN, at the elevator exiting Upper Norfair, we're gonna get to see a true comparison of how far Cutie is in the lead. Because FPS has been putting on a super solid run. Super solid run. FPS about to take on Ridley. Coming up on Wasteland. Let's see what strat FPS goes for here. There's a bunch of different strats you can go for in Hundo item. Cutie's gonna try and deboost off the waiver to get to the reserve location. Unfortunately misses it. Those are the little mistakes that we've been talking about that can give FPS a chance to catch up. FPS going for the double Metal Pirates kill. Fortunately, the Metal Pirate decided to eat a shot. "20 shots will take down with this Space Pelican." Even jumping into Ridley's claw rather than waiting for Ridley to swoop. Yeah, Hockey had to go. This was a pretty long set of commentary. Like, we ended up getting a super long category to finish this out. And here we have Cutie doing croc. So yeah, Cutie walking the croc. Doing a wraparound shot, and now we're going to see FPS making his way out of LN. Unfortunately, no spike suit for Cutie. Cutie trying to show some swag with short charges. So no Indiana Jones from Cutie because Cutie has space jump. Let's see what strat FPS uses for the Hot Ruby special missiles. This goes for the normal strat. A very solid decision. Ooh. Cutie going for some fancy stuff there. So, it looks like they both have shot on Y. So from a commentator and viewer perspective, it's really unfortunate that we got Hundo item for the last category, because this is probably out of all the categories, we'd say that out of all the categories in the out of all 7 categories, this is the one which favors Cutie the most. And the winner of this match will go on to face Kip. So we're getting close to seeing how much of a lead Cutie has. Oh, so close to a ball bounce for FPS. This is starting to look way closer than we expected. FPS has been putting on a really, really solid run. Routes will converge at the elevator leaving Norfair. We're just about to route convergence. One 740 elevator for a Cutie. 740 elevator. You're right. We completely missed whether FPS has done grade missiles. Cutie going to be doing a spring ball jump here. Has a nice setup for it. X-ray and then blue brain, and then we'll be good to go. Another wonderful spring ball jump coming up here. So FBS hit the elevator about 70 seconds later. And we'll see whether he still has to do Kraid. Yep, he still has to do Kraid, so that'll probably be another minute off. So this is another time when where Cutie gets to choose whether to stand up or not. Stand up is pretty safe, but in a race setting like this, it's always something you can miss. Reverse slinky, reverse slinky, reverse slinky, reverse slinky, reverse slinky. Very difficult trick. No surprise at all that it was missed. It's very, very rare to get it, but it's still free to go for. And that's helped it elevate it to meme status. So, Cutie has a couple-minute lead at this point. Yeah, so a missed baby skip would still leave a 90-second gap between the two runners. So at this point we think that stand up is the only way that Cutie can really lose this match. So we'll just kind of see what decisions Cutie makes. If Cutie's gonna if Cutie's willing to take tiny risks, or if Cutie's just playing for the win. Cutie grabbed X-ray 108 at 50. Okay, so there's exactly 2 minutes of time difference between the two of them. Thank you for that. Yeah, FBS is putting on an amazing showing, like especially in Hundo Item. Like being only 2 minutes behind Cutie is really, really impressive. Like FBS put on a really good run, and like did the best they could given the category that was selected. And super impressed at what Cutie is doing. So Cutie's gonna spark across this room. You know, FBS heading towards Blue Brain cleanup. Cutie's main category is any percent. Almost everybody has their main category as any percent. This is a game where it's normal to list off the runners who don't have any percent as their main category. Cutie got Rexha Preserve. Yep, so we're just about to start heading into Torian. We're just about ready to head into Torian. Dental plan missiles coming up, and this is going to be Cutie's very last fanfare. Nobody in chat pointed out any items that Cutie missed, so we're gonna assume that Cutie got all of it. So there are 230 missiles in Super Metroid, and that is the very last missile that you pick up. So it's to 230 missiles. 230 dental plan. It's a pretty convoluted joke, but it's a wonderful meme. So Cutie is playing the waiting game. FPS, pretty close behind. Stand-up saves about 10 seconds, so or 12 seconds. It's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, going for stand-up and soft locking. It's way safer here than it is in any other category. Than it is in GT Classic, but still definitely a place where time could be lost. Okay, Hundo item GT. Let's see if Cutie manages a perfect Torian this time. Unfortunate. Cutie was really close to a perfect Torian last time too. Let's see if Cutie gets the perfect Metroid 3, so Cutie at least gets the perfect room of each once. Torian not treating Cutie well at all. Torian, those Metroid rooms are really not treating Cutie well. And now, you do have to remember that fatigue is definitely setting in. After this, we are planning on taking a nap. We woke up nice and early at 12. We woke up before noon today to cast this. And so we're definitely sleepy. So this is the very last match of the round of 16. And we're down to and after this, all of the round of 8 matches are going to be decided. No round of 8 matches are scheduled yet. But yeah, at this point, we are 3.5 hours into this commentary. The runners are 3.5 hours. The runners are 3.5 hours into this match. Cutie's not going to save, no surprise. Yeah, so it looks like we will have Strat Chat tonight, where Kip will be in about an hour and a half on Kip's channel, and we're gonna see Kip's analysis of the next round, and that'll be really, really interesting to see because like as this gets closer to the end, we're really, really curious to see who's gonna veto what, because we're gonna have Zost versus Aussie. And we think Zeus is just gonna keep vetoing Bingo. And Aussie, we believe, if I remember correctly, that Aussie is pretty good at RBO, so Aussie might be choosing RBO. Kip versus Cutie is gonna be interesting. Both of them super good any percent runners. You'd almost expect Kip to veto a Hundo item. And well, Kip is probably gonna veto Hundo item. Cutie's probably going to continue to veto RBO. And, Sloders versus Gala. We don't actually know what to expect there. And then Zenny versus Oster. Yes, so we actually expect lots of Hundo item vetoing next round. So it looks like Cutie is going for stand-up. Thumbs up and thumbs down. Each runner gets to veto a category and choose a category. So, as long as Cutie doesn't jump into the ceiling, Cutie has won this match. Cutie can't soft block, but it would be exceptionally hard to soft block at this point. And there we go. Cutie has basically won the match now. You're very welcome for commentary. We're very lucky to be able to commentate this. This is definitely worth waking up early for. Cutie continuing to go for the swag short charges. And gets one. Cutie gets one. Cutie gets a short charge there. 70-second escape. Cutie will be good. FBS heading straight into stand up. Cutie. So Cutie has finished in first place with an official SRL race time of 1 hour 20 minutes and 53 seconds. With a comment, 2 weeks of 100% 6 months ago is not enough to be good at it. So GG Cutie. Let's see if we can get any of them in for an interview. Okay, so Cutie has to wander off to a Mother's Day dinner, so he's gonna pass on an interview. So GG Cutie. So we have our round of 8 matches now. Round of 8 matches are all up. We have Zost versus Aussie, Cutie versus Kip, Sloders versus Gala, and Zenny versus Oster. And Kip versus Cutie is going to be probably the most exciting match. Zost versus Aussie. Zost is a massive favorite there. Aussie is very good, so Zost could always lose, but Zost is a massive favorite there. We haven't seen Gala play very much recently, so Sloders is stronger mechanically and in better form, we'd expect. So Sloders is has a massive advantage there. And then Zenny versus Oster. Zenny is just absolute beast at Super Metroid, so Zenny does have a big advantage there. But anything can happen in any of these matches. We had no idea there was Mother's Day until Cutie said something. So yeah, all of these runners are excellent, and anybody can snipe anybody. Anybody in the round of 16 can snipe anybody, if mistakes are made. So, yeah, with that, FBS has finished in second place with an official SRL race time of 1 hour 24 minutes and 14 seconds, and has improved their race PB by 48 seconds. GG, FBS. And with that, Cutie will move on into the money for a cash prize of $25, with a cash prize of, I believe, $300 to $500 for first place, provided by Balls Guarana and Mega Cat Studio. GG to Cutie. And we'll see if FBS is interested in this is an actual PB for FBS. This is an actual PB for FBS, so GG. Let's see if FBS wants to do an interview. Looks like we are going to get FBS for an interview. So we're just waiting on FPS to come in for an interview. Yeah, getting a PB in a race is amazing. GG FPS. GG to Cutie for getting all 100 fanfares. Aussie beat Andrew. There is the bracket, right there. There's the bracket. There we go. We are joined by FBS. How are you feeling after that?
Hey, Freyes. I'm feeling pretty good, thanks. Yeah, I want to say GG to Cutie. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, three races, 3.5 hours of different categories is a lot. So pretty wiped out after that.
Yeah, even commentating that all this was getting exhausting towards the end.
Yeah, I bet it was. So thank you for sticking with us for the commentary for 3 matches.
Thank you for putting on this amazing show.
Yeah, so congratulations to Cutie. I'm going to be out of the tournament now, but I'm still happy with how this match went because I was able to push this to 3 races and I got a PB in 100%. So I can't really ask for any more than that.
So what category were you hoping for the last one?
Honestly, I don't know. I practiced a little bit for each one, like for each possibility. If I completely had my choice, I probably would have wanted RBO, but Cutie vetoed it. So I don't know. I think I don't want to say bingo because Cutie has like amazing times in bingo. So I don't really know what categories would have mattered.
Well, you managed to snipe the win in GT Classic, so GG on choosing that category to give yourself all the chances of winning.
Yeah, Rumblemans is pointing out any percent Kid Icarus. That's my choice.
Any other thoughts about the match?
No, just since that's going to be it for me for the tournament, I guess I'll just say, thank you to all the organizers. Thank you to all the SpeedGaming folks and all the commentators, trackers, and everybody, because this was a lot of fun. Although the multi-category tournament is really intense, so I think we should do this like every 2 years. That's probably the most I could handle. I think I need like a 2-year break in between each time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So I'll see you all again in 2022.
Thank you so much for playing, and thank you to Hockey for commentating with us. Thank you so much to all the organizers for putting this tournament together. Thank you to our sponsors for putting in these prizes. Like, this tournament has been an amazing experience, and we've been super happy with it. And it's just so much fun bringing the community together like this.
Yeah, this is the best community. All right, well, I'm going to head out. So congratulations again, Cutie. And thanks again for commentary.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching. And this week in the round of 8, we will have Zost versus Aussie, Cutie versus Kip, Sloders versus Gala, and Zenny versus Oster. None of these matches are scheduled yet, so hang tight, and we will have 4 best of 3s this week. And thank you for watching, and we will see you all next mission.